Hello and welcome to the CGS podcast, where we'd like to help you connect to, grow in, and serve God better. My name is Chris Rathbone, the host of the CGS podcast, and I'm so glad that you joined us today. Let's get into it.
We are doing something great tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah, we're live on location.
We are live on location.
Hi, everybody.
Not the church location, but it is a location.
remote location.
Yeah, we're like fancy tonight.
I know.
I'm loving this.
Closer to tacos.
I'm thinking we might need to just rent this space as our offices.
I'm
I
really
love
liking
this.
it.
I love it. I think it's awesome. So, yeah.
I feel like we have to be on our best behavior here. Maybe that's a good thing.
I know. Like, what am I doing with my hands?
I know.
Like, you're going flat top.
Now I'm going to hide my hands.
I wasn't thinking about it, but
now I feel self-conscious. What do I do?
All right, Ricky Bobby.
Okay. Well, hey, tonight the goal is we're going to talk about our action plan. We've been working on this as a church, and we have said for last few years, like the plan is pick one thing and do it, but it doesn't really give much direction. And so we really want to come up with an action plan of how to connect, how to grow, and how to serve. And so we're going to focus on, we're going to do a 3-part series on this. And tonight we're going to focus on connect, because our mission here as City Church is to help people connect to, grow in, and serve God. And part of connecting is finding your people and make it a priority.
Yeah, overcome all the reasons why it's hard to connect.
Yeah, because there's tons of reasons. You can think of a million reasons of why I don't want to go to someone's living room and hang out, or why maybe I don't go every single Sunday, but I catch 1 or 2 a month. Like, there's a difference that happens whenever you commit to fully to the church and to its people. It's just a really cool deal. So that's why we're doing this. We're going to try to keep the action plan simple. So it's just 3 bullet points per action or per mission, and we don't want to overload everybody. But this video is going to be talking about the heart, the mission, the vision behind each one of these elements, and why we as a church are investing into this, because we really feel like if you connect, if you grow, and if you serve, you'll be a well-rounded believer.
Your whole life will be different.
It'll change your life. Exactly. Yeah. That's what we really want. We want to see thousands of testimonies come out of the City Church. And, even just this weekend, we've seen some incredible things happen. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't be more proud of this church, because there are people that are truly buying into the mission. And,
and not just by saying stuff, not just on Sunday morning. It's so real. It's so like, I've been in church my whole life, and this seems like I didn't know this was possible.
Yeah.
It has to be God.
Well, I always thought it had to happen through a program.
Yeah.
And it's like, if people would just get on board with the programs, we can do some cool stuff. But this is so much cooler because it's Jesus.
Yeah. God moved somebody's heart and they obeyed.
Yeah. And that's really what we want, is we're learning more about the potential of Connect, Grow, Serve. We're realizing that it's not necessarily about programs, because when we started, we were all about events, programs, marketing, and more we're kind of backing away from that. And not because we don't believe in it, because we do believe there's a place for some of those things, but because
we just want to demystify. Like, it's not, here's 1,000 things on your event calendar now that you have to commit to. It's not something secret. It's not a mystery.
Well, I've seen so many people. Sorry, Dan, I'll give you a chance. I've seen so many people be involved in all of the programs and then walk away from the Lord.
Yeah.
And
that wasn't the point of anything.
We really wanted people to go beyond the programs, beyond attending, and let their heart really grasp what Jesus is capable of doing in their lives. And Jesus says, if you have just the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to understand that a little more, because I'm seeing things happen that I did not think we could accomplish.
And it started so small. It didn't start.
We're not even trying to do this stuff. It's just happening.
Everything that's happening is happening very organically. Nothing is being forced. It's just an overflow of what God is doing in people's lives and people's hearts, and they're letting it just overflow to others around them.
Yeah.
And it's amazing.
Yeah, when I showed up Sunday night, we were working it and doing, helping somebody out, and I didn't know it was like a whole thing. I
thought we were like going to clean up. Yeah.
I didn't know y'all were going to be there. I didn't know the Don Hose, or I didn't know it was a big thing, but it was like multiple people around the city. It was all organized. I was just kind of blown away with the whole thing.
Even Monday, I mean, we were excited, but on Monday, it's all you could think about, all you could talk about, how great.
Yeah.
It's like, did you hear from anybody yet?
Yeah. I know, right? Yeah.
That's what faith should be, like, so exciting that the next person, we just can't stop talking about it.
I know. I've struggled with, like, how much should I talk about the details of it? And it's not my story to tell.
You
And
should let him tell it.
That's why I'm guarding it.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not like, here's what we did.
Because he's so good. It'll be so powerful when he tells it.
When it happens, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about specifically Connect tonight. And the church is so much better when everybody is connected, rowing together. That's one of our values, is we say row together. We talked about rowing a boat. If these people are over here doing this and the other people are going the other way, you're just spinning in circles. You're not really going anywhere. But when we're all aligned, working together, heading the same direction, it's really incredible what can happen. And we're seeing it happen, and we're hoping everyone rows in the same direction of Connect, Grow, Serve, and letting it kind of take hold in their life. And so the question we have to ask tonight as we start this whole thing is, am I actually connected to the church and its people, or am I just attending? There's a crossover to where you attend and where you belong. And we want to be a church where people belong. It's another one of our values is no lonely people.
Yeah.
We don't want people coming here. We don't want you guys outsider coming here. That's worded that weird, but we don't want you all people coming here. No, we don't want the goal to be patting each other on the back for attending church. However, committing to attending weekly is a great first step.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to start somewhere.
And so that's our first. I'm getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. Let's talk about the Bible a little bit.
Oh, that's a good place to start, always.
Yeah, I thought maybe we would start there. So
a good book.
Being involved in a church is being involved in something bigger than yourself. It's submitting to Christ, because it says that the church is his bride. And so if you want to belong in a very, very intimate way to the Lord, being involved in a church in an intimate way is a really good way to get to know the Lord better. And I know that it seems like a pastor would definitely just say that you need to do that.
Is that like day one at Bible college?
Yeah, that's what we learn there, among other things I forgot. But I just can't think of my life ending up the way that it did if I wasn't committed to coming to church.
Oh, yeah.
And like the miracles, I mean, that's what I would call this weekend all together, all the different things. It wouldn't have happened if I wasn't connected to the church. And I don't believe that it would have happened. The other people wouldn't have done their thing either. I really feel like it's a result of years of connecting, growing, and serving that led to this amazing thing that happened. And God created us for community. He doesn't want us to be isolated. He doesn't want us to be separate. He wants us to be a part of a community.
That's where you grow. That's where you're challenged. That's where you find the next part of who you are. Yeah,
and in the early church, the gospel exploded in this model. You find in Acts chapter 2, verse 42 through 47, there's this model of the church exploding. And so flip open there. Daniel, do you have it, or are you close?
I'm close.
Okay. Why don't you pick up in 42 and go through 47, and let's go through that together.
promise I'm close.
It talks about how the church devotes themselves. And then really that's what kind of
Devote is
belonging
such a-
is.
Yeah.
It's this process of deepening that devotion, and we challenge each other through it. That's why we're involved in, we have connect groups, small groups. We have men's, women's discipleship, and all these different events to help. And we're going to go through some of those action steps here in a minute. But let's just see their example in Acts chapter 2, verse 42 through 47.
Yeah, it says, all the believers devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship and to sharing in meals, including the Lord's Supper and to prayer. A deep sense of awe came over them all, and the apostles performed many miraculous signs and wonders, and all the believers met together in one place and shared everything they had. They sold their property, their possessions, and shared the money with those in need. They worshiped together at the temple each day, met in homes for the Lord's Supper, and shared their meals with great joy and generosity, all the while praising God and enjoying the goodwill of all the people. And each day the Lord added to their fellowship those who were being saved.
Yeah, it's this beautiful image of people on fire for God, and the result was they were together all the time. One of the cool things about this, it's not taught very often, is that it talks about sharing possessions, and
Yeah.
people think, oh, it's talking about generosity. The reason they're sharing their possessions is because necessity. They were there for Passover. Maybe they were prepared for 40 days. They were all in. We're going for the 40 days. So they packed, they saved up. Imagine going for 40 days. It's going to take everything you got.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's still
To be
expenses
gone
and
for
traveling.
40 days. Yeah.
It's a major commitment. When they go and the Holy Spirit drops a bomb on this community, and it explodes from 120 people to 3,000 basically overnight. They are sharing the truth, they're sharing the word, and it's just, and the Holy Spirit is just.
Each person can't wait to share because it's so powerful. It's so big.
Well,
and you can't go home.
Yeah.
You're going to miss out on what God's doing. Don't leave.
How could you possibly go home when God is moving the way He is? Imagine like if God was to, like, I just can't even picture what was like. The tongues of fire coming to rest over them.
The sound of the mighty rushing wind. Yeah.
Power.
Yeah.
It's powerful. And when you experience God's power in His presence, you don't want to leave it. Sure, we've all had experiences where you just kind of linger and you don't want to leave. Well, that's what's happening. And so the reason they're sharing their possessions is because they don't want to leave each other's presence, because the Holy Spirit draws us to one another. And that's beautiful. And so if God is present and He's moving and His Spirit is active and alive in our hearts, the result of that is we want to be together and we want to be around each other. So that's why connecting matters.
Is this why people hang around after church and drive their kids nuts just chatting instead of going to eat?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know we kind of joke around about our church being a church of introverts. I just wanted to kind of speak to that because that's very much me. I know a lot of people would say like, "Oh, you're the worship guy. You got to be like outgoing and everything," and that's not the case. I'm very introverted, but I believe, just again speaking as an introverted person, I believe in the heart of every person. Even if you're an introvert, there's that longing to have connection.
Oh, yeah.
And I get that. And that is
it doesn't
something
have to look a certain way.
Yeah. And that's something that I found is very powerful. When you get in the right community, when you're connected with people who are like-minded at the church, and there's just, like I said, there's this sense of community and belonging that is just
feels like home.
Yeah, and it's priceless.
Yeah.
It's something that I know there are plenty of times where I'm like, I just want to be home. where it's comfortable. But ultimately, it's like when I get around my people, there's just nothing like it. And it's just like there's this joy that I have.
Yeah, it's so
Every
worth
time.
it.
Yeah.
It's so worth the hassle of getting out of your house.
Yeah. So introverts, if you're watching this, listening to this, just get out there and connect.
There's a place. You don't
Yeah,
have to change
yeah.
who you are. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so that kind of speaks to the heart of why we want to be together. Is if God's moving, why would you want to be anywhere else? But but it's also the design. You look at Romans chapter 12, verse 5. It says, "So it is with Christ's body," which remember, Christ's body, Christ, the bride of Christ, all these things of the church. We are many parts of one body, and we all belong to each other. I mean, without some of the pieces, it just doesn't work as well. I mean, we're in a place right now that would not be possible without
Yeah.
another part of our body. It's just, God is just so good at putting things together. And so when there's unity and there's peace and there's this cohesion among the membership, it goes beyond a cool place to be, and it goes into something more spiritual and lasting. And that's really the heart of this. We don't want to connect so we can grow a big church. We want to connect because we want to grow a healthy church. And that's so much more important to me than a big church. I am honestly having a lot of fun with the church we have right now. I'm never going to be content with just not getting people saved.
Yeah.
Not bringing people back into the faith that maybe have walked away. I get a lot of joy from that. And so that's going to be the heart of this church. But it's just so much better when we're unified and we're having fun, and it's just a lively place. Like that's the goal. That's the heart of what we're trying to do.
Ain't it? I mean, it's a reflection of God himself in the Trinity. He's not alone. He is
Absolutely.
relationship.
So connecting is how faith grows, and it's how people heal. It's how the church becomes family. And when we connect deeply, discipleship becomes naturally because, I mean, when the believers are together, let's crack the word open. Let's see what it says, and let's see why this is a thing. You want to know and you want to grow. So it's how we grow in discipleship, care, growth. That's why we serve, is because that's what we do as a group. Like that's what we do. That's who we are. So let's look at this action plan though. And so we start with committing to Sunday services. So why does consistent attendance matter? Why is that such a big deal?
You have to, recognize people face to face. How are you ever going to become a part of a group if you don't know that there are, people in the group?
I think it's for you, and it's also for them. Let's say you're a first-time guest, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on in your head. It's hard. It's hard to visit a church. I remember in college, it's like there's no church like my church. The one you grow up in is like, that's the one. And I mean, not everybody has that experience, but that's my experience. And I was like,
well, I showed up for Sunday school and I was like, I forgot in college. I was like, oh, I'm going to get to this church. I don't know where my Sunday school class is. Like you get to the door and you're like, oh no, I'm going to have to ask a stranger for help.
Yeah. So there's that whole thing going on, and that's real. But once you get past that, when you got to think about all the other members, they want you to be a part of it, right?
Yeah.
And like City Church is really good about that. People come and seek you, and afterwards we talk about you. And I'm sorry, we do, but we say, "Did you meet so and so? I'm so excited about them. I hope they come back."
Yeah.
And literally every single week we have a visitor. We have these side conversations with, I talked to the new person today. Did you get to talk to him?
Yeah.
I really liked them. I hope they come back. And that's just a part of the culture of our church. And what happens is someone will miss 3 weeks and then they'll show up again. It's like, I wonder if they're thinking about joining the church. You're just not a lot of confidence there,
Yeah.
And then you miss 3 weeks again. You come back again. I guess they're just going to be like, kind of like on the outside. And so what that communicates, on purpose or not, it's just natural. What people think is, I don't know if they're really one in. I don't know if they want in on the inside. And it's awkward because it's like, if that person was to start coming every single week, I'd be like, they're in.
Yeah.
That's what we say. That's the language we use. Oh, they're in. They're all in. They're excited.
They're new best friends.
They're in. And that doesn't mean that we don't want the people that missed a couple of weeks because they're traveling or something to
that
be
happens.
in too.
It's just that like we're waiting.
It's a trust.
To see them again. Yeah.
It's a trust thing. And so when we can identify that you're in, it develops a trust, a brotherhood, a sisterhood. It does something. It's just different. And so it communicates that you're in, you're involved, and you'll start to see it puts those type of relationships on a fast growth trajectory. And that's what we want. We want you to get on a fast growth trajectory. And the first step is committing to coming to church every week. And if you do, I promise you, you will get on a fast growth trajectory. Unless you just come and you're like, I hate talking to people. Please don't talk to me.
Come late, leave
That doesn't
early.
happen. I mean, it does some, I guess. But typically when people come every week, they find their place.
Yeah.
And they belong.
So I think if you don't come every week, I think it messes with your connection to God too.
Yeah.
Because talking from experience I used to travel for work all the time. Like two-thirds of the time I was on the road, but doing these series and whatnot of sermons, like if you miss 2 weeks, you don't know what's going on. You don't have the whole picture anymore.
Well, when you're going through verse by verse, chapter, section by section, you've missed
A chunk of Bible.
chunk.
And you get out of rhythm, and you just, I don't know, it's hard to keep the momentum when you start missing.
Yeah. I mean, tonight we're doing a series again. Like we're doing it again. We're going through Bible themes,
Oh yeah.
and we've already done it. That was the first thing we did on family night when I started
Oh,
teaching.
really?
Yeah. We're doing it again because nobody in the class was here then.
Yeah. Do it again.
And I was like, oh, we taught this. You guys remember that? And I was like, I wasn't here for that.
Only you were there.
I was like, that's so good. Like we talk about that all the time. We need to go through this stuff. So we're going to go through all the Bible themes, and it's going to take us a long time. But if you come every week, you're going to have this incredible foundation. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Here's the thing too with coming every week. It's like, number one, it is very simple to do. But number two, as a part of the bride of Christ, that is the church. If you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, are you only going to talk to your wife like once or twice a month? Or are you going to have some consistency there?
Yeah. It's hard to go to that next phase if there's not consistency. And it's really a rhythm where you're looking for. So the first step is commit to coming to church. So the next step, we added a little bit to it tonight, though. We said commit to God and regular church attendance.
Yeah.
So, that we're going to touch more on that on the grow section, but it is important to know that when you connect with God first, and then you connect with this church. It's an important step. So I didn't want to skip that. But another step is men's and women's nights. So we do these every other month. We alternate men 1 month, next month the women will go.
Every fourth Sunday, somebody is meeting.
Yeah.
There's a connect night.
Yeah, it's a connect night. Exactly. And so these are fun. These are all these are designed to do is fellowship.
That person you've seen across the room 4 weeks in a row, you're finally going to get to meet them, know their name. Which kids are yours?
Yeah. So what are some women's nights? What do you guys do?
There's a big controversy about whether craft nights are desirable or not. We always have the most turnout, even from people who are like, I'm not good at crafts. I don't want to do this and I'll make it, but I'm not going to take my craft home. This can't go in my house. But we all have the best time, whether we're good or not. I mean, recently we did a paint night, and I thought I was doing pretty great. And then I saw the other end of the table. I was like, oh, well,
Have you guys done the
trash.
deal where you paint each other?
paint each other?
Yeah, you like
Oh,
do
no.
the portraits.
I thought you meant like on our faces,
Oh,
on
no,
our skin.
no, that'd be really
we
weird.
should do that.
I think it'd be funny. I know it's like a couples typically do that, but I think it'd be funny to do it with your friends too.
But sometimes, like, we go out to eat or we play games. It's just like, tell us about your week. What crazy thing did your kids say?
Yeah. So men, we typically do things the men enjoy. And we do
Crafts.
not do crafts.
Not a lot of crafts.
Not a lot of crafts. But this month we're doing backyard barbecue. So we'll have the fire pit going. And I'll have Viking chess or cube.
That's this Sunday, right?
Yep, this Sunday.
Maybe raining. May have to pivot.
We may do
Wow.
something. We may do something different.
Raining on our parade.
I'm just saying.
Who knows?
But anyways,
We'll figure that out.
Yeah.
But we go to we've been to movies. We've gone to
go out to eat.
bowling. But going out to eat's probably my favorite one.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, we don't need a whole lot. We've gone shooting. Yeah, we blow stuff up.
Axe throwing,
Axe throwing. I mean,
shot bows,
yep.
bows and arrows.
Yeah, we've had a good time. So this is a great entry point into fellowship. It's like you've been attending. You kind of meet people at Connect Time. You kind of know people. There's some trust building, but you don't really know anybody because you haven't sat across the table from them.
Yeah.
And so these are great because if you're going out to eat, find the person you don't know very well, sit across the table, and you really get to know them pretty well. I don't know how many nights Kara's come home and it's like, I sit next to Sarah tonight, or I sit next to so-and-so tonight, and it's like, they're great.
Yeah.
They're so funny. I love them. I love hanging out with them. And yeah, same thing with me. You know, I remember last year we did the backyard deal, and Mark came. He had never come to anything, and
Yep.
I was like, you're pretty fun.
Yeah. Cool dude.
Great time.
And all of a sudden, like the awkwardness on Sunday morning of like, I don't know these people, it's gone. Now you have something to talk to people about.
And like, you know, funny stuff happens. Like Charles was trying to
I
shoot
knew.
he was
This
trying to
was gonna
shoot
come
the
Tannerite.
Tannerite.
Sorry, Charles.
He missed like 900 times. It's a lot of pressure. I get it. And to his defense, the hay was kind of covering the target, and so he couldn't really see it. But that
He
was
got
mega
it.
funny.
Excuses.
And like you can come up with nicknames. A lot. I'm not mentioning any of them because it's men's night and we have a covenant. But
Speaking of funny things that happen, when two guys get in a canoe together,
yes, that was our trip we went on this weekend. It was a blast, and seeing them
flip over.
flip over.
They
and
did flip. Who flipped?
Chris and Mark were in a canoe together.
Oh, no.
And they flipped. It was something else. I wasn't there. I just heard Bradley cry and through the tears of laughter telling about it, and that was good enough for me.
That sounds amazing.
But these are great things, you know, get to know each other. We did, like I said, we did just go on a retreat this weekend, but man, those are great entry points into fellowship. The
And-
casual, fun.
I know, like at churches where like I'm the new person, sometimes these like events start coming up and there's an announcement about it, and it's like I'm gonna go, and then something happens the day of that I'm like, I don't think they really meant for me to come. This is for somebody else. Like I don't know. I get in my head about what am I gonna do? Just show up where I
Yeah.
don't know anyone? I should just stay home. Don't do that. It really is
These are designed
for you
that.
to just
We
show
really
up.
ought to rebrand them to Connect Nights, honestly. I
Yeah.
think we said it a second ago, but that really is what they are. Like a men's Connect Night.
It's not a
girls' Connect
group
Night.
that's already established. It's different every time.
Yeah.
You're not going to be the only person who doesn't know everyone.
You don't have to know the Bible in and out. We're just going to hang out.
Yep.
It's
There's
just,
no pressure.
You're
In fact, if you
invited.
start quoting scripture a whole bunch, we're just gonna be like, why don't you settle down a little bit? Like, this is just.
If
This
you
is
got
fun
something
time.
on your heart, share it. But you don't have to show off.
That's it.
It's not to show
And
off.
I say that because when people get around the pastor, that's like, what do you think about Revelation? I'm like, oh gosh,
The in and that one.
this is probably the last time I'm going to see you. This is the trend I've seen, because if you talk about Revelation, typically it's just you're not going to be around very long.
Because you get your own personal rapture, or what happens?
I don't know. It's just it's like people are. It's
People
fake.
are-
It's just fake. I don't. When these aren't fake nights. Let's just get to know each other. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really want to get into the word that's genuine, we have done that before. We'll throw stuff out there, but typically, we're just seeing who can eat the hottest wings
We're the grossest,
or the grossest.
peanut butter ones that Jacob got last time.
He was trying to pretend like they were really good. I didn't want any part of it.
Peanut butter? No, no.
Yeah. Who thinks of stuff like that?
That's why we call them old peanut butter.
The covenant.
Okay, third thing. I'm gonna let Jacob take this one because to him this is a big one.
All right. You're putting on the spot here.
Yep.
So third one is fellowship outside the building. So what we mean by that is
Get outside in nature.
you could. It's just you get to know somebody and it doesn't have to be an organized church event. Like, do you text them during the week? There's an example right there. Me and James and Randy, we have a little text group and we text about sports, Arkansas generally, all the
A little
time.
side chat.
Yeah, just all the time. Just, hey, you watching the game? Did you see that? Did you see that home run? Whatever. Just hanging out, talking to each other.
Did you get the pastor's permission before you started that thread?
No, I didn't.
Hey, they
I
included
don't
me
think-
in the Chiefs one, so I feel like me and James and Jacob had that one going.
So you want to go do something? You should be able to call somebody from church because you should be friends. And hey, do you want to go watch this movie, or do you want to go out to eat, or what do you?
Yeah. What are you already
What are you
doing
doing?
that you
Yeah.
could invite somebody to?
It doesn't have to be anything special. Just what are you doing in life? Let somebody do it with you.
So one thing that one sign that I keep bringing up, and I think it's funny because it's true, is like you're scrolling on your phone, you see a funny meme, who do you send it to? Right? If you start sending those to people in the church,
Oh man.
it just shows like these are the people you're thinking about. These
Yeah.
okay, am I going to build the mission of our church around? Do you send funny memes to your church friends? Absolutely not. But
It's symptomatic
It is a
of
symptom-
what's happening.
yes.
Connection.
Are you thinking about them? Just laughing because the next time you see him, you're gonna be laughing because I'll send fishing memes or stuff to Daniel all the time. We'll laugh about it later when we're together. It's just funny stuff. And are these the people you're living with? Because once you have that, if you're thinking about them while you're on Instagram or whatever, you're also thinking about them when you need prayer.
Yeah.
And that's when it kicks in. That's why we connect. Because who are you going to go to? So many people are going through life alone and they're going through some heavy, deep, hard stuff. And it's just like,
You can't bring it up on Sunday morning in a 3-minute time.
no,
Like that's not where you get to share your burden.
we have prayer time. But even then, it's like, okay, now they know about it, but I didn't really get to,
Yeah. You need
I don't get to
something else.
bare my soul. I just told them, can you pray for this terrible thing?
Yeah.
It's different.
And you want these relationships before you need
Yeah.
help from somebody. You know what I mean?
Yes. Because it's so much deeper and meaningful.
Yeah, it's not the same if you don't have the relationship.
Yeah. So are you eating meals together? Are you having game night, sending memes, helping each other with their projects? I mean, how many times are we doing that? In fact, right now, I know I just found out today that Sarah and Brandon's house in Elkins that they're trying to remodel to sell.
Yeah.
It had some storm damage. And
Oh,
I
man.
didn't know. I found out today. So we need to be going out there and helping them.
Yeah.
They had a shed that blew over and some stuff, and they're trying to sell the house. And so I need to be following up with them because we need to be going out there and helping them with that because they'd be at our house in an instant.
Yeah.
So
And all those things we talked about, like if you don't have somebody right now and you're interested in something like that, just say something to somebody. You know what I mean? You want to get in on the sports text? Let me know. We'll wrap you in.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going
Now,
to be a lot.
the
Maybe
funny
you
thing
don't
is,
want to be
like,
in it.
is Teresa is probably going to want in on your Razorback chat.
It's fine with me.
She'll be the most active one though. It's so funny.
I have groups from work that I do the same thing with. I got multiple. You got buddies. My buddy Deepak that lives in Atlanta. We text back and forth. I usually have 3 or 4 text message threads going
Yeah.
during a game. So
That's the best way to watch.
That's why I really like that we have the action plan that we've written it down of like, it's just an open invite of This is really how everyone at our church feels. If you want to be included, if you have an idea, it's not just staff, it's not just one person. We're all ready to say, yes, let's do that, because we know how powerful connection is. We
Yeah.
know that this is really important. We're not too busy. We're not too distracted. This is what we want.
I want to get us to some tools, but Lord just dropped this story on my heart. Is when we first moved to Arkansas, we went through a lot of health stuff, and I've told the story a bazillion times, so I'm not going to tell it again. But one thing I haven't really talked much about was, other than us, was like when we had the miscarriage after we moved to Arkansas, we weren't really solidified as a church. And we had just left our church that we were really solidified in and really connected to. And I didn't have anyone to call.
Yeah.
And so I called the only person I knew, because it was Colby and Rachel who were on staff with us. And that's all I had. And then eventually you came over and helped watch Claire. That's it. I was like, I need to run to the hospital. Who's going to watch my kid?
Yeah.
It's such a lonely feeling. And it's crazy to me that I allowed myself to get into that place, but I didn't really have a choice.
It was so new. You had just moved.
But I think there's so many people that live like that. Who
are you going to call?
Who are you going to call that's in the middle of the night? And you know they're going to be there. I think about Rachel doing that for us, and how important that was to us at that time.
Oh, yeah.
It was a big deal. And I want that for others. I want them to be able to not be like, I don't want to wake Pastor Chris up, or,
Yeah.
I know that you guys would be there in a heartbeat. If I called you at 1 o'clock in the morning, you'd be there immediately.
Oh, yeah.
And I want people to know that that's the kind of community that we're building. And that's what we want. And we have some tools. Like we have a Facebook group that's private. And so you can post things on there. We are pretty guarded about it. We get a lot of requests from people, and we're like, I don't know who this is. So if we don't know who you are, we're not going to add you. There's like a little questionnaire thing on there. But if you're part of the church, even if it's, a couple of weeks or whatever, we'll throw you on that. And that way you can get kind of plugged into we'll send out like last second reminders and signups and stuff like that. Small group stuff, information. The women have a group me, and we're getting ready to start one for the men, because
it's so much better than
our
a
text
group
thread
chat.
is a disaster. So we're going to be going to a group me soon. I know, men, you're going to have to download another app.
You're going to like it.
You'll be all right. It's going to be better than sending out a random text to the old group that's... Who was the 417 number? I was trying to figure it out the other day. Who is this? I don't even know. And they answered the question. This happened this weekend.
Y'all should do it at Men's Night. That's when we did it.
That's a good idea.
When we were together, it's like everybody all at once. Anybody have any tech issues? We can help you right now. And it's so great. I mean, I don't think the stuff that I get in the group me, I don't think people would have texted, because it felt like, I'm not really supposed to say that. But it just opened up of like, I have a random thing I would like to share with everybody at church.
Yeah.
And it is great. Good. I love it.
The other thing is we have a church calendar that we share. It's on our website, which, by the way, shout out to our new website.
What?
Got a brand new website that just launched yesterday. So check it out. It's live. Yeah.
Nice.
It's live. And it looks great on the phone. It looks great on the computer. It's good. But on there, you can actually go to the calendar page, and there's a button on there that says subscribe. So you can subscribe and add everything to your phone. So you'll have all of the events. You click the event, and it's going to give you the details. Mm-hmm. It's sharp. And so that's a really good way to know what's going on. So we got a few tools. And so to kind of wrap this up, we're going to challenge you. Connect. Like really, it's going to make a huge difference. And as we go to the next step, the grow step, that doesn't mean you have to do just connect things and then just do grow things, but it's going to naturally make you want to grow and serve. In fact,
they go together.
In fact, what you'll see is another way to connect. We didn't put it on connect because it really is serve, but a lot of people's first thing to do is go serve at the free food truck.
Oh yeah.
And it's a great serving next to one another. So let me throw that in there because this is like a bigger thing with the podcast. But let's go serve at the food truck or volunteer at one of our events. We've got lots of movie nights this summer and, of course, the monthly food truck. But yeah, volunteer and show up. You'll get to know people really well. But let me challenge you. Pick one step. Start with A, commit to coming to church and build that trust and then add a few things as you go along and just kind of build off of that. But these are your action steps. And if you are connecting, growing, and serving at the city church and you're involved in all of this stuff and you're living it out, make sure you're being the inviter.
Yeah.
Bring other people along. If you see someone during Connect Time, you don't know them very well, invite them to men's night at night or invite them to ladies' night or small group or whatever, whatever it is, encourage others to join on because sometimes it takes that invitation.
Hey, just invite them to lunch.
Yes. That's a perfect example of
impromptu
what we're
eating
talking
day.
about. Yes. We don't have to have a special designated. We go out to eat every Sunday and it's always open to anybody that wants to come. Yes, it gets bigger. It's kind of complicated,
We'll
but
split tables.
we'll figure it out.
Fine.
Yeah, it'll figure it out. And we always do. And we've had 15 people a week for periods of time. And sometimes it's just us, But yeah, be the inviter, bring others along. And and don't wait to be invited. You are invited. This is your invitation. You are invited to all the things, lunch, any of the events we talked about, you are invited. We want you there. All these Connect things are not for members. These are for new folks to get plugged in and connected. So you guys got anything else to add? We covered it pretty well, I think.
I love this. Has been really good.
Yeah. Be connected. It's part of God's plan. He wants you to be part of the church, and it's going to change your life.
We can't wait. It's going to be a blast.
It is. This is the fun one.
Yeah, this is great.
We get to have a lot of fun doing this. So yeah, be on the lookout. We'll have hope to do the new episode every week. We're taking a week off next week for we're going to be at the food truck, but 3-part series coming soon. Have a good night. Thanks for listening to the CGS podcast with your host, Chris Rathbaum. We really appreciate you listening today. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to subscribe. That way you'll get notifications every time we post, which should be once a week. If you like this content and want to learn more about our church, visit citynwa.com. There you can find our full messages. Plus, if you want to plan your visit to the City Church, that's a great place to do it. Thanks for listening today. Hope you have a great day.